During the creation of this project, I had a fun time, whilst also learning many new techniques, such as camera movements and how to use Photoshop. Everyone was assigned to their own roles and individual roles. I was in charge of directing and doing the portfolio. This was a different experience, since I'd never done a project like this before. Throughout the making of this film, I felt very comfortable, since I knew Vrund and Vrund from before. This really motivated me and elevated me not just to perfect this movie, but also try hard and work well in my other subjects as well.
Area actually, and basically there were a few houses that we had to work in front of. The main house being like the house that was in our focus, in our frame of the camera. We had to actually find someone we knew and contact, and we filmed in front of their house, given that they gave us the permission to include their house in the film. And there was a lot of difficulties associated with filming in different settings. For example, in the street, there was a lot of cars, incoming traffic, and we had to just monitor when there was no traffic. That's when we could cross the street, because obviously one of the scenes required us crossing the street, so that was one of our precautions. We had to check if there was cars coming or not. And another example could be in the forest. There was a lot of litter, hence we could have fallen and hurt ourselves, so we had to really clear the scene, the filming area, before we could record the scene. So overall it was fun working with the different settings, but it was a little dangerous as well, but along with the safety precautions we had everything under control, so it's alright. So that's actually a good question. The way we came up with the story generally was we looked at other groups and we wanted to see what's something that could differentiate us from them and what can make us unique. In the end, we came up with the twins being at our advantage, that both of them could actually act, both of them actually acted in a show, and we thought about how we could use this to our advantage. And in the end, we came up with a plot where the audience is misguided to think that there's one character in the film and it turns out to be two working simultaneously. So the general idea came out to be as a small script where we thought that we would have two killers. Obviously, one of the killers would be shown, and towards the ending would have a mirror scene. This was what we intentionally wanted to add until later on. We had to remove it. And in that mirror scene, basically what you would have is one of the actors would come and sit down and they would stare into it, and on the other side would be a reflection of him until you find out it's not actually a reflection, it's his twin. And we were just obsessed over this idea of making a story that included the plot twist of a character having its own twin, and there's two characters basically. And somewhere along the line we came up with the idea of having a murderer being two killers and me being the victim of their murderous plan, and that's how we made Two Shadows.
In filming Two Shadows and in the production, like team meetings, everyone did play their part. For example, everyone did their portfolios on time. Ved did the editing really well. Me and Zach did the Photoshop, props, etc. Especially Gurjot, he came in late to the production, but he really worked hard. He was the director, and he got every shot, how we needed to do it, and he also really managed time really well. The only issue that we faced during the filming was when the mask didn't come on time, which delayed our film schedule. But overall, everyone did play their part. Yeah, my favorite part about this production and making this project was working behind the camera, editing, being the cameraman. These were very new experiences for me, especially editing the film. I have never edited a film before, as this project boosted my abilities in this subject, and I enjoyed doing it, and it was very engaging, learning new things, and yeah, it was very fun.
2, 1, action.